Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a layout for Cut to You design team, and I am using the gorgeous binge watching cut file. And I'm also solving case number 373 in the CSI Challenge blog for this month as well. I love that photo prompt, that gorgeous little springy type feel to that lounge. So I decided I'm making my layout a little bit of a homey type layout today. And I mean, that works perfectly with binge watching. It just makes you feel like you just want to soak into a gorgeously cushioned lounge or sofa and just binge watch away or even read a book, to be honest. So I have pre-backed my cut files there, and I've left the area for the pillows vacant at the moment. I do put those back in, but I add those up with some dimension, which I'll talk about a little bit later. What I first wanted to do though was I wanted to create a homey feel, and as if I was sitting in a lounge room or someone was sitting in a lounge room reading or watching television. So I really didn't want the sofa to feel like it was floating up in the air. And I thought the best way to deal with that was to get some wood grain paper, and I'm using the Cocoa Vanilla Sunkiss collection there, just a strip of wood grain paper, and that gives a really great spot for the sofa or lounge, whatever you want to call it, to sit across the page. I knew I didn't want to do a lot of mixed media on this, and when I say that, there is no huge colour component to my mixed media. But I did, like I said, want to make a homey feel. So I'm using this Be Arty stencil, and it is a brick type stencil. So it's giving that warmth around. Where I was coming from there was imagining a den and sitting and reading and watching television and giving a bit of a... And so I just wanted to give some of the page a bit of a texture, but it also sits in the background, so it's not overwhelming for the page. So I'm just using some modelling paste through that stencil, and it makes it look as though it's a brick wall behind the lounge. So I have popped up the little cushions that I've created there from the cutout, and I've popped them up on foam, and I have also backed the binge watching title with some patterned vellum as well. So it just gives a little bit of tone into that as well and doesn't completely take it right into the background. Now the papers I'm using today are really old. They are from my stash. I love being able to use some of my oldest products when I'm using my cut files, because I've got lots of little scraps left here and there, and it really allows you an opportunity to use up some of those scraps. And I have been hoarding some of these things as well. So some of the pattern paper is from old hip kit clubs from several years ago, but there's also some Pink Fresh as well. So I'm pretty sure it's from the Let Your Heart Decide patterned paper and ephemera. And I've also got other hip kit things as well. It's just sitting in a little bag that I had there. So I loved being able to use up some of this stash. I've almost finished it now after doing this layout. I am popping up the cut file on some foam. And I am gluing it down with wet glue because I've used the texture paste. I always find it's much better to stick down with liquid glue across any mixed media, and it will stay. Sometimes if you just use double-sided tape, it doesn't always stick. Now I'm trying again. I want to make this as straight as possible, and I have my T-square ruler out. I am happy to report, getting used to using that crazy thing. I don't know how many times I don't get things straight, which makes no sense at all, I know. And a lot of people do not understand what I'm saying. But I am certainly getting a little bit better with that at this stage. So I just rolled over just one of my cups that sits on my desk there just to help flatten that through the page. And I've also used the T-square ruler to get my title nice and straight as well, so I could have a real symmetrical type layout there. Now, I should remind you all while I'm here is that you can find the binge watching file at the Cut to You store, and I will leave a link below to the store and to the link. And also, please come and visit us at the Cut to You headquarters on Facebook as well and share your layouts with us. We love to see what you're doing with your cut files, and we have such a great little community there of lots of people sharing and giving their own inspiration, and it is wonderful to see. I've also solved the CSI challenge as well, and I would love it if you joined in this month. There are some great Cut to You is a major sponsor of that challenge every month, so I would strongly encourage you to give them a go. There is lots of evidence that you can choose. There is lots of ways that you can tie back your layouts to the actual challenges. So I've skipped ahead a little bit here. I did do a lot of fussing about with how I was going to put the flowers around the pages. I didn't want to make it too busy, and I hadn't printed my photos, so I was struggling a little bit to think about how I was going to lay the photos as well. Now at this stage, I had some photos in mind, and so I thought I was going to print off two. It does change when you see the close-ups. I actually accidentally deleted the photos that I was going to use and needed to dive deep into my stash to find another special photo that I have. And this layout will actually become a companion layout to, I have actually added some things onto the back, which I might show in another flip through or something like that in the future. I don't do any journaling on this side of the page, and so the photo probably won't make a lot of sense, but it certainly will make sense if to the family and what I was actually on about with choosing this particular layout. So I have stuck with using the binge watching title there and giving the embellishments along the left and the right hand side, and just a few clusters of flowers and matching leaves as well. And the clusters that I've used on the couch or the lounge, I've tried to mimic as if they were some throw scatter cushions. So that little rose there on the left and right hand side as well, that's cut out from a patterned paper, and I thought that would make a really good scatter cushion as well. And I've just added some leaves behind that, as much as I realised leaves probably don't necessarily go without the couch, but I loved the flowers, so I really wanted to do that. And one of the tags that I had that I'm just gluing down there had that gorgeous little tassel, and I thought that was a lovely little lean off to, as if it was a bit of a throw rug on the little couch as well. I played around quite a lot and fussed and faffed around a little bit with all the clusters, but then I decided it was becoming too much because the cut file was so big. I didn't want to overwhelm any more with that. So that is pretty much as far as I get in terms of the embellishments. I add a couple of little tags. The tag that I'm adding at the moment just says enjoy, and I've got carefree down the bottom. The photo that you will see in the close-ups is a photo of my nephew when he was a baby, and he is absolutely transfixed with the TV. You can't see the TV on this particular one, but I do have other photos to go with this that will go into the companion layout later down the track for me, I would imagine. They're definitely already sitting on the back in a little pocket, waiting for me to create another layout to go with this one. I finished off the layout just with a little bit of scattering of some gold splatters just around the embellishment areas, just to add that little bit of glitter and sparkle. And that, I will leave you with my close-ups and the final. So don't forget, hop onto the store and have a look at all the latest cut files and join us. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you visiting and spending a little bit of time with me. I will leave you with the final and some close-ups. And don't forget to join us at the Cut to You headquarters on Facebook. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.